Rochester, Minnesota. Yeah! Go out and get some early morning trout. A little chilly out this morning, but we're going to see what we can do. Yes, sir. Okay, by now you should know my repertoire. We're going to try the swim jig first and see if any are right here by the dock. This only gets out like 30 feet. So, yeah, we'll see if there's any by the dock. It looks like the sun's going to come out today, actually. You know, you can go a whole day without no sun in Minnesota, and then it shows up at 5 o'clock. Right when the sun's getting ready to set. It's kind of weird the way that is. The sun gets underneath the cloud then on a cloudy day, and that's why you only see it at 5 o'clock. I just thought I'd bring that up for those people that get gloomy. Yeah, okay, this swim jig, you want to bring it up and down in the water and keep the line very taut. Very taut. That's the way they do it in the printing industry. You got to keep the lines taut, otherwise the sheet breaks in the printing presses. And I know that because I was a printer for 20 years, okay? Well, more than that, 30 years. All right, let's get some rainbow. Okay. The bald eagle and the ospreys aren't out today. But this is the last open water day, I do believe. Because I think we're going to get ice. Oh, there's a bald eagle. He's in the other tree. I think we're going to get ice. We're getting down in the teens tonight. That's ice making temperatures, my friend, in case you don't know. Getting down in the teens for the next 5 days. We should have 4 or 5 inches of ice. And you're going to be out in the ice with me this year, okay? Number one, there's a little place in town right out of West Rochester. Some of the local folk might know it. It's called Silver Creek Reservoir. We're going to go after those big 30-inch and 40-inch northerns through the ice. I got a 4K camera I'm going to try to set up underneath the ice as I pull them in, too. We'll do the tip-up. We're going to have fun, man. And then I'll be on here, Foster Irwin, in Rochester, Minnesota. And what we're going to do, get on the ice here and look for the rainbow tornado. Yes, sir. My rainbow tornado, my signature. That's where they swirl and school around the rainbows because they're hatchery fish. That's what they do in the hatchery. And I truly believe, why would they change? They do it here too. So they put 600 in. They put 700 in yesterday. For those who don't know, this will be a good weekend if there's any open water left. It'll be so cold. Those 700 fish aren't going to get caught by themselves. So what happens eventually is they build up after stocking every 2 weeks. And eventually you get what in the hatchery they swirl around. That's called the rainbow tornado. Yes, sir. That's my terminology for it. I've coined that word. So if anybody uses it, you owe me some royalties. Okay, maybe we'll just go to a minnow. That way I can put my hands in my pocket. Hopefully it's going to warm up here a little. Yeah, my personality in itself, I can't keep myself warm, but I try. Okay, we tried the swim jig a little bit. Let's go look around out there, see if we find a quick rainbow, huh? They put a lot of hefty males in yesterday, 700 fish, all right? And I got it on my previous live. Oh man, I forgot my jacket. I got it on the live show before this one. Yes, sir. You could actually see them stocking. I got it on video. And that's where I posted it on my live show. And I got 3 yesterday. They were all nice, healthy males. But what I do is I catch and release. If it was brown trout or brook trout, I might keep it through the eyeballs, mate. That way I got a skull in the way. They can't steal the minnow. It's harder. Yeah, that water's a little cold, but we're gonna have to deal with it, I guess. Let's get out there with my 4-foot Daiwa, handheld. That way I can pop the bobber every 30 seconds. And I can set the hook, but I gotta set the hook high because it's such a short pole. That sun's gonna come rolling over that hill. I mean, it's almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, but if you don't know where to fish to catch fish, I highly recommend Foster Aaron in Rochester, Minnesota. It's a year-round special regulations. Hello, how you doing? Just saw you. Yeah, thanks for doing my time. Did you say they stocked? Yes, they stocked 700 yesterday. Real big, hefty mouths with the arched backs and the freaking. Some of them had teeth, actual teeth, 12-inch, 13-inch ones. But good luck. You're gonna have to get down. You know, tell your boss you feel sick. Come down here and take a fishing day. It's gonna be like the last open day for water, mate. I mean, it's gonna drop down to 10 tonight, 15. So we're gonna start making ice. But they did stock. Watch my video, the one before this. I did. You'll see this, the truck, and then you'll see them stocking and everything. Pole in water? Yes, pole's in the water. We're waiting for the rainbow bite. Now, little 4-foot Daiwa. I love this pole. Circa 1970. 8 years ago, I flew in from Phoenix, Arizona, and I found this little dandy pole on the dock. And it's my go-to pole for 8 years. I've had St. Croix, I've had Fenwick. This little bugger, you can bend like a U, and it doesn't bust. You can even have like a 2-pound. I've caught an 8-pound bowfin on this little thing at Red Wing. And boy, what a fight that was. You just have to have your drag set right. But what an exciting fight. Your heart's going, the pole's bending and that fish is thrashing all around. Yes, sir. The exhilaration, you can't beat that. That's what fishing's about. And that's why I enjoy it, and that's why I bring it to you. I love to see kids catching fish too. So all you kids out there, man, any way I could help you, give you some tips or something like that, will you let me know? When I'm out in the ice and I find that rainbow tornado at Foster Aaron, I call over to the little kids. If they're in the proximity, out in the ice there. Yeah, fishing's a good sport to get into. You know, as long as you got to spend, I don't spend a real lot of money. I don't work. I'm down here 4 or 5 days a week, but you know, the gas I think is the most costly. But this convenient pond is right in town for me, so the gas situation isn't that bad. When I sink a lot of gas is when I go down to the Mississippi, then it's like 10 bucks worth of gas. Or I go up to Lake Zumber chasing those 20, 30-pound carp. Check out my videos on that. You're gonna love those videos. Catching a 20, 30-pound carp off a 10-foot Daiwa Black Widow fishing pole. Man, I've upped my game. And those carp don't have a chance. Man, I have so much fun carp fishing. Some people don't like carp. Oh, okay. You know, to each his own, mate, okay? I love catching carp. There's nothing more exhilarating than catching carp, okay? Where else are you going to get a 20, 30-pound fish without going down the Mississippi? And you don't have to kill them. I can't stand a person that kills something just for the sake of killing it. You let them go. And you watch that beast take off. That 20-pound beast just swims away like nothing happened. Yeah, I got a lot of videos like that. In the summertime, in the spring, that's what I fish. I chase those monster carp up at Lake Zumbro. They have the bigger carp in Lake Zumbro. They get up to like 30 pounds or more up in Lake Zumbro, and that's why I enjoy that so much. But okay, enough. They stocked 700 yesterday. Anybody that's in town watching this, you might want to come down here before the ice. Because after today, I don't believe there's going to be any open water. And your line will be freezing up like mine was yesterday. So, yeah, get down here before everything ices up. It'll be the last open water fishing day before next season, next spring. Come on, let's find a rainbow. Sometimes these rainbows, I like working a depth bobber. Sometimes they're hanging at 3 feet. Sometimes they're hanging at 5, 6. Aren't they invasive species? Carp, you know, if you want to call it an invasive species, it's been here since the 1800s. Then you're calling, you know, yourself an invasive species in my book, because you never naturally lived here. It was the American Indian and the Mexicans. You know, a lot of people like to use that term, but invasive species is, the carp actually has a purpose, you know, in nature. It does certain things that it doesn't harm the other fish. Now, what is invasive is those Asian carp that are going up the Mississippi. I would say they're a little invasive because they're going to take over everything. They're those carp that when you're in a fishing boat, they jump out and slap you in the face. Who wants to get hit in the face with a 5-pound carp? But, yes, I mean, people say that they're invasive, but they're, I mean, come on. They haven't taken over all these ponds if they're so invasive. But I'll tell you what, pound for pound, there's nothing that beats that freight train pull of a carp. You ought to try it, mate, and you'll probably enjoy it. And where can you get away just for 60 cents for a can of corn? That's your bait, all right? You got a full can. Where are you going to be able to do that? I highly recommend it. And, you know, I'm bassing ahead, and I catch 1,500 trout here per year at Foster Irving, but I thrive. I love catching those carp. They're such a challenge. The fight is unbelievable, all right? They take off like a freight train, and you're in for the ride, like a roller coaster ride, whatever it goes. And they're not a dumb fish. They try to take you by the rocks, the bushes, and stuff like that. This is the question, because I don't drop, I have them. Oh, I missed that one a little. Now, yeah, there's nothing. See, this is the problem with using a bobber when it's cold out. You got that little eyeball. We're getting ice in the line because it is a little cold, so the bobber will become ineffective. It's going to warm up a little, I hope. Yeah, we got some people asking a lot of questions. That's good. I like that. I'm new at this, the live part. I've been on YouTube for, I'd say 5 or 6 years at least. I almost got 5,000 followers. I do a lot of shorts. For all those kids out there who just like to watch shorts, I do a lot of shorts. But now, just recently, I went to the live because I'm trying to monetize my channel. Make some money. I put enough years in, so why not? Pop my bobber. That minnow will start dancing every time I pop it, or flash. And hopefully there's a trout in the vicinity. But I've seen people, I've caught 16-inch trout just hiding right underneath the dock. You don't have to cast out there the furthest. I used to always come down and work the dock first, before I cast out far. And I would find 2, sometimes trout underneath the dock. Where are you fishing? Foster Irving! Foster Irving in Rochester, Minnesota. It's year-round trout fishing here, mate. If you're in the vicinity, I would check it out. There's no trout season. It's year-round, and they stock 200 a week from the 1st of October to the end of the next May the next year. 200 a week. They put 700 in yesterday. So they're constantly stocking this little pond. It's only the size of 4 football fields. I would call it a baby pond compared to some of the ponds and lakes in Minnesota, right? But it's 35 feet and the trout thrive in here. They don't reproduce, but they do thrive in here. And they put them in, we take them out. But you can only keep 3 with the special regulations pond, and it's all about possession. You can catch and release, but you can't keep. Once you start keeping, then you need a trout stamp. It's called Foster Arend Park. Look it up on the internet. Foster Arend, A-R-E-N-D, Arends, A-R-E-N-D-S, Park. And you'll see the park in Rochester, Minnesota, which is southeastern Minnesota, sort of. Come on, hit me. Yeah, a little brisk, a little chilly out this morning. But, you know, you got to get used to it, have your body acclimated if you want to get out there in the elements and ice fish. Rochester's usually we got a 5-mile-per-hour wind right now. Rochester usually got a 12-mile-per-hour wind, which makes things even chillier. This Foster Irwin's like a toilet bowl. There's hills all around it. It's suppressed. So it's a great place to fish if it's a windy day. You can always find some place, Foster Irwin, where you can fish where the wind's not hitting you. That's a fact. But look it up on the internet. It ain't going to tell you about the stocking. They don't brag about the stocking of fish here. They don't send out memos and tell people when they're going to stock. They just come rolling down that hill when the hatchery has too many trout, and they throw them in here. But it's called Foster Irwin's Park. Look it up, Google it on the internet, and you'll find the park and where it's located and everything. Okay, come on, Mr. Trout, where are you at? Yeah, that bobber effectively isn't even working. You have to go to the hair jig. And I'm getting all tangled up too, on top of that. Getting iced and tangled. Okay. There we go, let's try that. Yeah, when you pull that bobber up and down, you can feel the ice on the line. You gotta warm it up so that bobber works at least. We're gonna have to come up higher because the more ice that's on that line, that bobber ain't gonna work. So we're at 4 feet, we're gonna come 3 feet and try 3 feet. Yes, sir. I've been averaging 3 trout a day. And I've been doing this on a daily basis. The next 4 days, when it's so cold, 10 to 20 degrees, I think I'm going to stay in the house. I'm going to wait till the ice forms. There's that intermediate period when the ice has to form. And you can't fish in open water because your line ices up too bad. So that's what we're looking at right now with 5 days reaching 10 degrees, 15 degrees. The intermediate period where it's ice. There we go. I think I got somebody now. All right, get some. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And bite me, baby. Can't you see that I am not afraid? Here we go. Hit me. Come on. Pop that bobber. Make that minnow look more enticing. It's dancing around like Tina Turner, rolling down the river. Come on. Now something was pulling me around. I guess he's not that all hungry. He don't like the flavor of my minnows today, I guess. Either that. The next time you go to get minnows, you got to ask them for the pretty ones, not the ugly ones. I must have an ugly minnow on there. So they put 700 fresh trout in here yesterday. I watched them. I took the live feed. I wasn't going to do live feed yesterday until I seen that truck roll up right next to me. Before I knew it, I was right next to the stock truck. So I said, let's do a live video. Why not? I like catching it when they stock at Foster Irwin. And if you don't follow me, I recommend you do if you live in town, you're local, because let's get Rochester, Minnesota on the map. Okay, number one. Number two, you're going to know when they stock. because you watch my videos. Number 3, just turn off the notifications so your phone don't blow up from me posting so much, okay, mates? Simple as that. But you're going to know when they stock, and you're going to know when to come down here. Yeah, cornmeal works too for trout. Yeah. Trout will eat practically anything, believe it or not. I've heard a story one time where somebody had a Mickey D's hamburger, took a little piece of the Mickey D's hamburger and caught a trout. I've cut open the bellies of trout before to see what they have inside them, and I find like hemogrit, bugs, and one I found a pebble. I caught one the one time, had a 7-inch worm, and it was only an 8-inch fish. That worm was right sticking, it was all the way down his gullet and just sticking a little out of his mouth. So, yeah, you never know what they're going to eat. But those hair jigs that I use, the swim jigs, I mean, I'd highly recommend them. I recommend a Castmaster, a spoon. Come on, let's find one at least. There's got to be one swimming around out there. Yeah, a little chilly out. The hands are chilly, the fingers are chilly. Maybe the sun will warm us up once it rolls over this hill here. And my tip of the day. My tip of the day is watch other fishermen, what they do. And I'll tell you what, if you're willing to learn, you can learn a lot off other fishermen. Take some, discard some, but make it your own. That's what I've done over the years. Oh, this will work for me. I'll try this. Yeah. Oh, this ain't gonna. I ain't trying this. I'm not trying this. Throwing my pole in the lake. That doesn't work. Yeah. I remember one time when I was super young, I was like 10, 12, and when I went carp fishing, I got frustrated because I had to walk 3 miles home and didn't catch anything. I threw my fishing pole off the bridge into the pond. My friend said, I would have took it. Sorry, I just tried to do that. I was angry at the time, I guess. Funny story though. I fished those carp, those 20-pound carp. You don't watch your pole, they'll take your pole too. I've had that happen. A $50 pole, you go water skiing across the top of the pond because you're not paying attention. Yes, sir. Well, plastics work. You know, some people, a lot of the Cambodians in town, they don't like minnows because they stink up your fingers and stuff. And they use plastics. I've experimented with tiny little plastics, but you gotta set that hook, I think, right away. There we go, somebody stole me. Somebody stole me. Somebody's eating minnows. That ice is icing up a little, people. So, yeah. Hopefully it warms up a little. I don't have too many minnows left. I got maybe 6, 7 minnows left. So I may have to just go to plastics or something like that. Power bait off the bottom. I've seen people have a lot of success with that. All right. Little plastic maggot. I mean, also wax worms, night crawlers through the eyeballs, mate. I mean, a lot of things work. the key is, what are they feeding on today? And you know, the trout. The trout are very finicky fish. They'll feed off it one day, and the next day they're feeding off something else or trying something else. I think they'll just eat anything. They'll even eat a Mickey D's hamburger if you serve it up to them right. All right. Well, like I said, people, if you haven't, and you live in town and you're local, I would subscribe to my own channel. Not to hear me talk personally, or hear my jokes or whatever, keep you amused, but I would subscribe just to find out when they stock, because I'm down here usually 3 to 5 days a week. I know when they stock. That was a big loogie sneeze. Excuse me, my friends. Yeah, I think I'm getting a little cold, but the next 4 days, 5 days, I'll be in the house. So, where are you mates? Where are you guys from today? Who's watching from where? If you're out there, give a little direction. Tell me, type in where you're from. I'm kind of interested. This is Rochester, Minnesota. Bolster Aaron Park. They got a quarry here they turned into a pond, and they throw 200 trout every 2 weeks in here. It's special regulations. Special regulations pond. We keep 3, but it's year-round fishing. That's the plus to it. I heard one jump out there. Maybe they're waking up finally and traveling around the pond. Sometimes they just hang out in the 20, 25 foot, which is in the center. And then they'll start traveling for a while. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. You too, mate. Hope you're out there having a great day. Even if it's cold, I get out fishing. If there's ice, I get out fishing. I'm a year-round fisherman, man. But good day to everybody. I try to keep people turning their head back and read these comments. I wish they had a Dragon Snap voice monitor that talked. Your phone would talk, you know, every comment. That'd be nice. Then I could verbally just talk, answer every comment that's ever posted. And sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. I get those 60-year-old eye vision too, so I got to be quick. My eyes, I wear glasses, mostly reader glasses, Ray-Bans. Okay, where are you at, guys? All right, I've just went live for the past week and a half, and we're going to see how this goes. There's the bald eagle up over there. See him flying. Yeah, that's the bald eagle. He's going to hang out up in that tree. And when he sees a trout floating on the top of the water, that's where you know that rainbow tornado is. He's going to dive down and grab himself some rainbow sushi. Yes, sir. There's the pond. And it's about the size of 4 football fields, I would say. But it's packed with trout. They got crappie, they got bluegill, they got some catfish, some bullheads mostly. But that's the pond. They got a swimming beach for the people in the summertime, for younger kids. It's a nice little park. I'll tell you one thing about Rochester, Minnesota. They do keep up on the parks, and they have a lot of them. I've been all over the country, and I'll tell you what, some parks are better than others, and they keep up on these parks here. They have a lot of fun ones for younger kids, too. Yeah, last day open water, I think, in Minnesota. The next 5 days are going to drop real frigid. We're going to go in the teens and the tens. And that means ice making. We're going to get out in the ice this year. So I hope you want to follow and watch. Because I'm going to do this live thing out in the ice. For northern pike and for rainbow trout. And who knows where else. Some of my favorite fish to catch are carp, bowfin, smallmouth. We're talking about fish that give off just a powerful fight. I love the fight. I'm a sport fisherman by nature. Meaning I only keep 10% of what I catch. Most of the times also when I go fishing, it's not necessarily to eat the fish, to catch to eat, just to catch and to release. It's all about the fight, mates. That's what counts, the fight. Come on, let's find a trout. I got to get at least one today. My sun's coming up over that hill. Hopefully it'll warm things up for me. Yeah, maybe the bass finally moved out closer to the dock. And the bass are biting their little 6-ounce, 8-inch bass next to the dock. So close to the dock, it tells me the water isn't really all the way flipped over the pond. It's not too cold for them. Usually when it's too cold, they move out. And so that has a lot to do with also the trout bite. The trout are cold water fish and high oxygen fish. If you don't have enough oxygen in the water, the trout aren't going to be there. They don't hang out in the shallows like northern or bluegill. Okay, we need to get this line all figured out here. Sometimes the line don't want to cooperate. Or it gets all tangled up like it is right now for me. As long as I don't get a bird's nest, I'll be fine. What's going on with this thing, man? It's doubling up. There we go. Somewhere along the line we ended up knotting up. Okay. Somewhere along the line. Now we're getting tangled around the dock? Really? It's amateur night. Fishing. Alright, there we go. And we still got a little knot right here. What the hell's going on here, man? Yeah, we got a knot in here. We got a little rat's nest. Well, it is the last day. Oh, we got it out. I was going to say it's the last day for open water fishing. It's no big deal to get tangled up now. To tell you the truth. Look at the light. Whatever. Tangling me up. Look at this stuff. Huh? Jeez, Christ, man. like it just fit. You got it out. Luck's on my side this morning, but I'm still gonna get all tangled up on it. Look at this. Holy smokes, man. Alright, let's start leaving this in. I think we got a fish. I didn't even know it. I was too busy. There you go. I was too busy with untangling the line. Didn't know I had a fish. Lucky bass in the hand. Oh, we got a nice rainbow. Yes, sir. Okay, so the line was tangled up. You just never know. There's a fish on the other end. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Nice hook set, too, by the nose. Oh, man, that's a hefty little fella. Let's get you off the hook. Get you back in the water. There we go. The hook barely even is set. There you go. Rainbow action. All right. Rainbow trout, Foster Aaron Park in Rochester, Minnesota. I just had a rat's nest in my line. Took about a minute and a half undoing the rat's nest, and bing, bam, boom. We got a rainbow trout on the line, and I didn't even know it, mate. Huh? Check it out. Nice little rainbow, eh? Okay, when you can, please catch and release. All right, that was a good show there. I thought my line had too big of a knot in it. I'm gonna have to, we got ice on the tips of the rod. When it gets that cold, you get ice buildup. You always gotta de-ice the tip, otherwise you can't cast. We're dealing with those properties this morning. But what a rainbow, huh? After I look like a fool with my rat's nest trying to untangle it and stuff. And I'm not paying attention, I'm yakking my jaw, talking. Yep, there was a rainbow on the other end. Didn't even know it. That's the way things happen when you're fishing. All right, we got about maybe 10 minnows left. Let's do these 10 minnows, huh? That's one down, people. One on the board. Kind of fun when you're not paying attention. Hey, dude, where's my bobber? That's what you're thinking in your mind. Talking to yourself, and you pull the pole up, and boom, you got a fish on the other end. Hey, dude, where's my bobber? All right, let's get out there again. I was only about 3 feet down, close to the dock. You don't have to get out the furthest. And sometimes they do hang out a little further from the dock. I'd say about 50, 60 feet off the dock. It gets deeper, it gets about 16 to 20 feet. I like that 20 feet range. But there are times when they come in at night and they just sit under the dock because it's cooler, and they go to sleep underneath the dock. So you come strolling down early in the morning, I would check underneath the dock. So sometimes they hide underneath the dock. I've caught a 16-inch one right underneath the dock. Come on, hit me. Well, I'm glad I got the line all situated. Even though it's the last day for open water, it wouldn't have mattered if I had knots in it. But this Foster Aaron Pond is a gem of a pond. I've lived in Philadelphia, I've lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and whenever they had a pond like this, they charge you $5 to come in and fish. For every fish you catch, it was $5. And then they'll rent you a fishing pole for $2 and they'll fillet the fish for $1. So by the time you walk out of there after an hour and a half, you drop 50, 60 bucks. Yep. But here all you need is a trout stand, $10 and a fishing license. And it's year round. Okay, the sun's starting to come up over there on the hills. There's my bobber out there. We got a lot of Canadian geese flying around right now. Hopefully these trout are waking up. It's going to be a beautiful day out, and it's going to get nice and cold tonight. 5 days of below 20 temperatures. That means an inch of ice a day. At 20 degrees, 24 hours. That's an inch of ice it should make. You know, wind having a factor in it and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. If we get 4, that'll be good. It'll be cold enough temperatures to sustain those 4 inches too. So some years you get 8 inches of ice, some years you get 10 out here. Other lakes or ponds located in the countryside get thicker ice than the ones in the city, because around in the town it's much more warmer atmosphere. Foster's usually the last place to get ice, and usually the second week of December. But we're going to see this year. Looks like we might get it around Thanksgiving. Come on, hit me. Okay, enough talking. Let's get another trout, huh? Let's get another rainbow trout. All right, come on. There we go. We got a customer. Another happy customer. Hit me. Yes, sir. Take him down for the 3rd time. I'll let him drop me the bobber. Sometimes 3, sometimes 5 times. Because they like to come up and smack it with their tail. They like to come up and grab the tail. They play around like a cat plays around with a mouse. So they finally take it down, and you'll know after 3 seconds when that bobber goes down, it's time to set the hook. Don't set the hook right away, because otherwise you're going to miss them. You got to let them play around a little first. That's the trout bite. It's not like a bass bite where they just pull down the bobber. The trout will play around with the bait, especially with the fathead minnow. Now, one year I got 5 by the anterior, meaning the butthole, because all the ones would come up and smack the minnow with their tail, and I'd set the hook right away. Catch 5 by the anterior, that's quite a feat in one day. But they will play around with your bait. Come on. I know you put that split bobber a little further down. I'm only about 2 feet down in the water. I think I should go a little lower, but we're icing up a little, so I'm having problems with my split bobber. Let's get you guys up a little higher so you can see me. You get a little stand here from my phone. You can raise and lower. There we go. We raised it up a little for you so you can see me eye level. It's real chilly out here with the wind. All right, gotta stay warm. Got layers in Minnesota. I got long johns on. I got my spiked boots so they don't fall. I highly recommend spiked boots. Corkers with a K. K-O-R-K-E-R-S. Interchangeable soles. And they have picks, actual ice picks on the bottom of some soles. So you're not slipping and falling. It's about a $230 pair of boots, but guess what? An emergency room for a broken arm is $2,000 just to walk in and say hello. It's worth the investment. Corker boots. That's my plug. They're not giving me any money to say that because I believe in the quality of the shoe. I highly recommend them. When you have Corker boots on with the spikes on the bottom, you can run across the ice without falling. You know, I ice fished for 8 years so far. It's funny, when you hit a patch of ice that is so smooth, I've seen my feet go above my head and pop the back of my head on the ice. And it hurts, man. It freaking hurts. You're just taking inventory while you're laying on the ice like, am I okay? And You don't want that happening. I highly recommend, if you're going to ice fish, use spikes at least, if not corker boots. It's worth the $10, $15, $20 to get the spikes. It's better than a broken arm or a broken wrist, okay? Okay, that sun's rolling up over the hill. Things are going to get colorful down here now. Those trout are going to see that minnow. Yes, sir. Come on. They're going to see that minnow shining and say, all right, we got a sushi breakfast. So yesterday, I got a 13-foot telescopic dial Black Widow fishing pole. And boy, can that bugger cast. I was casting it halfway across the pond here, all right, with a 2-ounce weight. Oh boy, that thing just excites me so much with the damage I'm going to do on carp next year at Lake Zumbro. I'm going to be able to get out where the carp hang out. Yes, sir. That's my idea of having fun, man. Some people want to travel all the way up the Lake of the Woods or travel around the whole state and fish, which is good if you're a working man. I'm not a working man. I'd rather spend the money on better equipment, better gear, than spend $500 traveling all the way up to Lake of the Woods or Lake Bemidji. I mean, that's out of my price range there. We're getting caught on the dock here, so we're icing up a little bit more. Yeah, we're getting caught on the dock. Come on. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, when you're not paying attention, you always get caught up on something. I got caught up something underneath the dock. And I had my bait stolen too, so I deserve it for not paying attention. Sometimes you can't afford to pay attention, you know? And you need to take out a loan and pay attention. All right. Let's not work too close to the dock this next time. They're caught up underneath the dock. They were too busy talking. Through the eyeballs, mate. Fathead minnow. That's my deal. That's the way I roll. Some people put it through the back, some people put it through the tail. I put it through the eyeballs. A little harder to steal that way. All right, come on, son, work for me. Well, shout out to the guy that did my tires this morning. Nice meeting you, man. Yeah, he was telling me the places he fishes and catching big bass and stuff. I like hearing from guys that are in town locals saying they watch my channel. I love it. Makes me feel good. I had a slow leak in the back tire. I was losing 20 pounds. You gotta get out early to the tire store though. If you're not there 8 in the morning when they open up, you gotta wait like 2 hours to get your turn to get something simple fixed like a slow air leak. He replaced the valve stem and then told me, hey, I watch your videos, Bass in the Hat. And I said, all right, thank you, mate. Yeah, kind of cool meeting fans and stuff like that in town. You get good chuckles. Okay, seen the trout come up on my bobber out there. Let's see if we can find my minnow. But we're going to show you the gear that I prefer when I'm out in the ice. There we go. We got somebody dancing like the minnow now. Hit me. There we go. Take me down to the little lost city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Come on and take me down. Oh, yeah. Come on. Hit me again. Pop the bobber. I know you want that minnow. That sushi for breakfast is a good idea. Come on. That's funny how sometimes you just come up and bounce it around. Well, nose it or tail it, just slap it. Sometimes they just kill the minnow like a mouse would kill, a cat would kill a mouse. And then they walk away and just leave it there. That's funny. The 8 years I've been fishing here, I've watched them over the years. And I think I know them pretty much, but then again, right when you think you know them, guess what? They teach you something new. So don't think you know trout because, boy, they're hard to put down. You can figure out some of their feeding patterns and stuff like that, but you just never know when they're going to turn on and then turn off. There's no predictability about that. So if you get discouraged and you're a new fisherman, trout fisherman, I highly recommend you switching it up, trying different things, work different jigs and spoons, and you got to try different things with trout. It's just not one lure does it all. Even with minnows, sometimes you don't take minnows. But don't let them give you a complex mentally in your mind when they're not biting and you've been down here for 3 hours. That's the nature of the beast, fishing. And that's the nature, especially of the beast, fishing trout. You can't get discouraged as a young fisherman. Don't. Carp fishing, another one. If I get 1 carp a day, it's a good day. Okay, mates? Because it's a 15, 20 pound fish. That's why it's so great for me. But there's been days, 3, 4 hours I've been carp fishing and not get one. I still go home with a smile. You know, nobody kicked me in my heart and I'm discouraged because I know that's what fishing's all about, you know? You're gonna have your good days, you're gonna have your bad days. And the fish don't eat 24/7 like carp will, but trout don't. So learn what you can off other fishermen. That's my best tip of the day. Watch them. If they don't want to tell you, you'll watch them and you'll learn their secrets. Seriously. Pick up what you like, discard what you don't, and make it your own. That's what I did over the years. Okay, we're going to get too close to the dock. The wind's blowing from the east. So, and it's starting to pick up a little, but it's warming up a little, which I like. Last open water day fishing, guys. Where are you at? I'm down here at Foster Aaron Park in Rochester, Minnesota. Where are you at? There's 2 people down this whole pond. They just put 700 trout in here yesterday. I watched them. Look on my live feed from yesterday. You'll see they stocked 700. Where are you at? You want to catch some rainbow trout today? Come on down. Bass in the Hat. Starting to bright up. The sun's coming out. Gonna be a little, well, it's gonna be 32, the high. Last good day to get for open water fishing though. We got ice in the dock. My line's icing up a little. We got a fathead minnow through the eyeballs that's dancing like Tina Turner. Rolling, rolling down the river. Do 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 do. There we go. Like, find me that 16-inch rainbow out there. Yeah, I guess you gotta be a little crazy with this YouTube thing, especially at my age, okay? How many 61-year-olds do you know that sit down here, fish, and talk to your phone? People walk by and say, what's that guy, talking to himself? You know, you gotta be a little crazy. But we're gonna do the crazy thing, and we're gonna fish, and we're gonna catch a lot of trout, and we're gonna go ice fishing, northern ice fishing too. This iPhone 14 that I do everything, videotape and everything, I enjoy it. But I do have a 4K camera too for underwater purposes. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna hook that up and watch those big 30-inch northern bounce underneath the ice as I'm bringing them up through the ice. Yes, I've had it 1.5 million views on a one-minute video. Picked up 3,500 subscribers. I need that to happen again this Christmas. It happened like 3 Christmases ago. Pop the bobber, dance that minnow. Come on, where you at? Trout. Okay, we're gonna switch sides because I gotta put this other hand in the pocket. The hand's getting a little cold. Yeah, the community geese are out in force today. A lot of them migrate through this town in open water, especially in November. They close down some ponds just so they can migrate. Well, we got one so far, guys. We got 3 yesterday. We got 4 the day before, 3 the day before that. These trout are in here, man. I just watched them put 700 yesterday on my last live video feed. If you want to go back and see the video, you'll see them actually stocking. Yeah, I think I need to get my ice gear ready though. It's gonna be early ice season. Usually it's around the 2nd week of December when the ponds all ice up. This year it might be a little sooner. I need to drop it down a little deeper. 3 feet ain't working for me. You don't always swim at the same depth with trout. Sometimes they're going a little deeper, sometimes they're a little bit more shallow. Okay. But the depth bobber, this little line that stops the depth bobber that you tie onto your line, it's starting to freeze up a little, so I need to get this a little deeper. All right, we'll just have to watch the cast. We'll get it out there. There we go. Now I'm a little deeper. Now I'm about 4 foot instead of 3 or 1.5 feet. We'll see if they're swimming deeper. They're feeding deeper. Pop that minnow. Have them dance around and flash. That's my style. I like to, with this short handheld pole, I like tilting my wrist. That's all I got to do, pop that bobber. Who knows, it may just turn the right angle where that trout sees the flash and comes over and bites it. The way I see it, that's the way I think. Yeah, that sun still needs to warm things up. It's still a little chilly out here this morning. There's plenty of fish in here though. I'm not catching them left and right today. They're just not traveling around feeding yet. There's probably thousands of trout in there right now. There's 700 at least. They put 700 yesterday. There's probably another 5 from the last stock and 2 weeks before that. This place is fished, but it's not overfished, man. There's always fish to be had in Falls Durham, especially after the summer months when they start stocking the rainbow trout from the hatcheries. They put the brooder stock in here every now and then. They retire those big 5-6 pound fish from the hatcheries. They retire them in this pond here. Last year they put 700 brook trout that were 16 to 20 inch brook trout in here. And I'm giving away secrets now, but you got to be down here and know when they visually seeing them stocking, because they don't brag about it. And I'm usually down here, so more of an incentive to follow me and watch my videos if you want to come down here and go after 15 to 20 inch brook trout or 20 inch brown trout. They retire the brood stocks in here from multiple hatcheries. Okay, where you at, man? Come on. There we go. We got somebody interested. I think. Well, we got Thanksgiving coming up this week, huh? Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, all you YouTubers. I've met quite a good handful of fishermen on YouTube, and they're really a very friendly bunch. Shout out to All Things Country and any fins possible. And Philly Bro from Philadelphia, any fins possible. And that's not any things possible, that's any fins possible with an F. And All Things Country is a very friendly guy there too. I enjoy his videos. Shout out to you guys. And there's Outside with Tom. He's a fisherman out of Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa. Shout out to you too. Another good place to see some good fishing videos. He's a carp fisherman like me. I respect my carp fishermen. Yeah, we got a couple hours we'll do here. Use all these minnows. I got maybe 10 minnows, and then we'll call it a day, I guess. Maybe I'll go out casting that 13-foot Iowa I just got in the mail. Watch it go halfway across the water, the pond, the lake. Okay, I think I want to try the other side of the dock now. You just can't work one side of the dock. You got to try different parts of the dock. Tell you the truth. You got to look for the fish. That's what we're going to do. Daiwa. I love my Daiwa poles. And Japanese hooks, my Daiwa poles. Okay, let's try this side of the dock now. Alright, let's try this side of the dock now. Get out there and see if we find something. Alright, a little sunnier over here, I think. Get more wind now. It's colder over here. Yeah, that sun's coming up over the hill. I work the whole dock, man. You just can't stay in one spot and think the fish are going to come to you. When I'm out in the ice and I'm looking for that rainbow tornado, guess what? I do 20, 30 holes and go look for them. I don't sit there on one ice hole and wait for the fish to come to me. That's ludicrous in my mind. You got to find the fish. Sure, there's certain spots to hang out on, but some days they're not hanging in the same spot they were yesterday. We got some big black crappie in here this year, guys. 2 weeks ago I got 11, a 12, and a 10 and a half, and then another 11. 10 is a monster for this little baby pond here. And you're getting 12 out of here. That's crazy. Come on, take that bobber down. I don't have all day, even though I do. Yeah, I just start bringing my gloves. No. Yeah, cold hands, man. Yeah, good morning to you. I just put 700 trout in here yesterday on my previous live video. If you go back and look, I caught them stocking the 700 fish and I got it on video. Okay, how long have we been going so far? Okay, we're going on 1 hour. Oh, 70 minutes. All right. One like. 70 minutes, okay. Like I said, we'll do about 120 minutes, 2 hours, and usually drains my phone battery, so a lot of limitations to that. We gotta find another one though. One trout, you know, it's okay. But it'd be nice to have our 3 like I usually get, 3 a day. 3 or 4. If you're not going to eat, you catch and release, man. Sometimes you got to let them have a hook too. You can't yank that hook out. Always carry extra hooks, man. Trout get traumatized very easily. They're very sensitive. Try to grab that hook out of him. Scratch his lungs all up and he's going to bleed out. He's going to belly up and bleed out. And the bald eagles and the ospreys got sushi. They'll come down and grab them. You'll find where the bald eagles hang out in the trees. They got a lot of lines and a lot of bobbers up in the tree and stuff like that. That's for scavengers. They will take them and eat them, but discard the bobber and the line up in the tree where they hang out. Okay, I got to recast it out there. Fathead minnow through the eyeballs. Yeah, I was going to wear my heavier coat. Maybe I should have. That's the heavier coat. I got gloves in. Thankfully, there's not heavier winds today. A lot of times my phone looks like it's going to blow over because it's 10, 20 mile per hour winds. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody this week. Hope your football team wins and your turkey's nice and stuffed and your belly and all your food you eat put you in a little, what's it called? A culinary coma after your meal. A culinary coma. Oh man, sometimes I crack myself up. There we go. There's a hit. Certified trout head. Grab the bobber, down for half a second. He's going to swim around, come back, and try to grab it again. That was it. That's the nature of the beast with the trout. So I'll pop the bobber, and hopefully he'll wake up and grab it again. Maybe he was just waiting for that minnow to move, so I popped the bobber. That minnow's probably dead by now. Yeah, I think I'll be taking my open water fishing poles out of the back of my car. Not going to be much use for them for the next 5 days. I'm going to start piling my ice gear in the back of my car, my buckets. I can carry a couple buckets, an auger. use the fish finders very much. Because once you start using those fish finders, you rely on them too much. You got to realize it's only the circumference of whatever the fish finder covers. It's a great tool, don't get me wrong. I have a fish finder, but you just can't rely on them 100% of the time. When they're down there, you will find them, but you go 20 yards away, the fish might be there, unless you got one of those $1,500, $2,000 fish finders that their circumference goes for 100 yards or 50 yards. Yeah, me can't afford a $1,500 fish finder. That's just too expensive a toy. I'd rather had 4 wheels and a steering wheel in it for $1,500. Come on, we gotta find another trout. Let's get back out there again. Yeah, didn't feel my minnow. Let's get back out there. Let's get down a little lower though. I kind of like the 3-foot range. Not too shallow, but just a little deep where they could see that minnow. All right, there we go. There you have it. All right, nice and far. There we go. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. That's a trout. That's a trout taking me under. There we go. We're going to get this one. This one's determined. One more time. Take me down. There we go. There we go. We got it. We got it, mates. Yes, sir. 4th time it took me down. Yes, sir. We got it. This is what it's all about. Oh, nice. Nice rainbow. Dancing rainbow, dancing like Tina Turner. Rolling down the river. Proud Mary, keep on rolling. Good old Tina Turner. Oh, and he released all by himself. I like it when that happens. You don't even have to get your hands fishy. Yes, sir. Released by himself. Alright, that was a nice little fight. Come on, we got some dead minnows in there too. Yeah, we do. I'm going to have to use the dead minnows to save them. In case the bite picks up and we start running low. Now the last one we didn't get cameo for it. Yeah, the minnows look like they're dying, man. I don't know, this phone looks like it's gonna jump in the water. I don't want my iPhone, $1,200 iPhone, taking a jump in the water. Okay, let's get back out there. That's the sweet spot, all the way out there. Certain areas I found that they like to hang out at. I don't know if it's the depth of the water, the temperature. They congregate in certain areas. Yeah, that other one that just got loose probably didn't have that hook set good enough. You know? Hook set on the nose, they're not getting off. hook set just on the skin of the lip, they're going to get off after they thrash around for a little while. Yeah, the hands are just a little chilly out here this morning. Gotta warm them up with my jacket here. So that would have been number 2 we would have pulled up just 5 minutes ago. There we go, we got another one dancing around. Come on, take it down. We'll pop that bobber, entice you. Wind's starting to pick up a little. Phone's starting to shimmy a little. It makes me nervous when the phone shimmies. Come on, let's find another one. Get one on the deck. Dial it in. It's one of my favorite terms there. Dial it in, mate. You keep on missing the bite. You're not setting the hook. You know, you miss the hook set. Dial it in, mate. That's all I need to say. Dial it in. Okay, where are you at here? Okay, how we look on time here? 84 minutes and 34 seconds. Yes, sir. A good 20 more minutes at least. Maybe 30, a half hour. Find some more fish. I'm gonna have to recharge my phone. Sucks a lot of life out of the battery doing these 2-hour live shows, I've noticed. Plus, saying I could warm up in my car a little. Maybe take up a lunch break and come back. I don't know if I charge my phone up, maybe. This could be a double feature day, maybe. Huh? I'd have to go out and get some more minnows, maybe. on, hit me. It's gonna get bitter cold though. The next 5 days out here in Rochester, Minnesota, gonna get bitter cold. It's gonna go in the teens for 5 days. High being 20, mid-20s. That's ice making days. All right, let's get back out there again. Yeah, me and another guy, the only fools out here in this cold. Casting into the wind and let it arc and let the wind work in my favor. The wind will blow me from right to left. It's coming from the east, and I'll cover more area. It's about covering area. The more area you cover, the more fish you'll find. Foster Aaron, Foster, F-O-S-T-E-R, Ahrens, A-R-E-N-D-S, Park. That's where I'm at, in Rochester, Minnesota. If you Google that Foster Ahrens Park, you'll find it on the internet. They just stocked 700 yesterday. I got that on my previous live feed. If you want to watch. If you've never seen them stock before, it's fun to watch. Some days they come down with a little S10 pickup with one tank and holds 600 fish. Other times they come down with the utility truck. When they roll down with the utility truck, it has 4 tanks. So it can hold like 1,200 fish or more. But yesterday he only put 700 in here, and they had the utility truck. Come on, one more. And maybe I'll just call it and go warm up in my car. One more for the road. A little chilly out here this morning. There we go. We got taker. We got a taker. Come on, have me let it tail. Take it again. Had too much slack in the line. Can't have slack in the line to set that hook. You got to keep the line taut. Get me? There we go. He's back. He found me again. Twice it took me down for 2 seconds, maybe a second and a half. Here we go again. I pulled it out of his mouth again. Okay, let's get back in there and give it to him. There we go. Now I got the whole place to myself. A little chilly out here. Only going to get colder. I think this week we're going to get ice by the end of the week. There we go. Found me again. This time I'm going to make sure I have no slack. Whoa, put on the slack, yeah. Come on, take me under now. Come on, hit me. We're up close to the dock too. Not far out at all. He's just nibbling today. Might be one of those bass. Come on, just pull it under. That was it. A couple bounces and we'll let it go. You need no more serious bite than that. Have the courtesy to take my minnow. Alright, let's get out there a little further. There we go. See if we find a rainbow trout out there. And my fingers are like ice cubes right now. You know, my death bobber's working though. I'm not icing up at least. Come on, give me 1/16 incher. Not asking for much, am I? There we go. We got somebody with a really big comment, long comment. Thank you for your comment. I missed that one, mate. Sorry. Yeah, that was a long typing comment. Too long for me to read and fish. But I do keep the comments on. back, guys. Hit me. Yeah, I'm waiting for the bite too. And the cold too. My fingertips are like icicles. So get yourself a coffee and warm up your paws, mate. Yeah, the bite today isn't fantastic. But like I said, man, I always say, you're on their time. They're not on yours. You don't show up at the dock and the trout say, oh, here we go, he's here, let's bite. Whenever they feel like biting, they start biting. You're on their time. You know what? I'm freezing my paws off, so my time's coming up to an end. When you're out fishing, you want it to be bearable, so dress warm and stuff like that. You're not fishing out in a thunderstorm, you know? The conditions got to be bearable. But ice fishing's different. You prepare for that. Or you hide in a tent with a heater. They do that out here too. I don't do that. I've got a tent at home, an ice fishing tent. I've drug it down on the ice twice and never set it up once. Because I'm too busy drilling 20, 30 holes, traveling around too much. I don't want to drag that tent around with me. Yeah, when your hands start to burn, you know your fingers are getting cold. When the snot on your mustache starts freezing up, you know it's kind of cold out. I think I just about had enough with the cold today right now. Because I am catching and releasing. It isn't like I'm looking for a trout dinner. Yeah, maybe we'll cut her a little short. Charge up my phone, maybe come back, maybe not. What do we got? 100 minutes. All right, 100 minutes. 4 people watching. Well, we'll hang out for another 20 minutes, huh, mates? Maybe we'll get a bite. Who knows? Come on, where's that 16 inches? 20 more minutes. That'll be 2 hours. And my phone should be almost dead by then. I have to go back up and charge it. But you never know when that bobber's going to go down. Could work the hair jig. keep my blood circulating better. I might try that since the minnow's not working too effectively. They seem to go crazy over that hair jig. We're going to try that. I carry around a couple poles. Each pole's rigged for a different way you are going to fish. This is my bobber, my 4-foot Daiwa. Handheld. Okay, throw that minnow away. And then we got another Daiwa. Oh, I seem to like my Daiwa poles. Okay, this one's a Daiwa Samurai. I think it's like an ultralight. But what we do is we work this little swim jig. It doesn't get out far. It gets out maybe 30, 40 feet, but you swim it up and down in the water by moving your tip up and down and reeling it in sporadically. That thing will dance around in the water, and if there's a trout down there, they're gonna have a piece of that. They're gonna get pissed. They want to bite it at least. Keep the line taut, tight, taut, and you'll get them. But if they're out there, they'll go after this. Had a lot of success with this. The only problem is a little too cold out to be have your hands out in the open like this. I'll give it a couple toss and see. I think I'm going to call it a little early. It's just a little too bitterly cold. Sun needs to be out. You can see the way I'm working it though. Jigging in a little and reeling it in a little. Let it drop. Usually when it drops, that's when the fish go after it. But they're following it because they're wondering what the hell it is while it's swimming around in the water. Yep, I don't know. I'm not seeing any bites. Maybe these trout are just all hooked up in the middle of the pond, not traveling around right now. And no followers, that's a key. You see a follower following it, you know, they want a piece of it. No followers. Let it drop a little. Bring your tip up, reel it in a little. Use that wrist, jig it a little. Bring it in a little, let it drop. That's the way you work at. All right, there's my lesson on swim jigging today. And guess what? I think I had enough. It's just too cold out here for my hands. If I was catching them left and right, yeah, I'd stay here. But we got two. Two isn't bad, you know. Got one on camera. The other one got off when I was bringing it up. But we're going to have to warm up a little. It's a little frigid out here today. We're looking at ice though soon, mates. By the end of the week, we're looking at ice. I want to warm up my hands a little. Yeah, ice, ice, baby. Oh, what do you see out in the ice? How much fun it is. But you got to be safe out in the ice. Early ice and late ice, the most dangerous. Go out and the ice is not formed correctly or too thin. Late ice, when the water's coming down off the hills and ebbing out the ice. And yeah, late ice is also, you got to know when to say when. Get off that ice. All right, I think we gotta sign out here, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you for following, and be kind on the internet, mates. Okay, go out and get that big fish. Good day.